What up, everybody? Is your host, Do It All Loose, and I'm here with
Mr. Mark Marin
and Artificial AV, man.
Yes, sir. We are the creators of the stew, and we would like to bring you the Beat Club, a place where producers are heard, and it is Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
Pat Nation over here, AV rocking it right.
Patriots
got my
Nation.
Grump jersey on.
On.
Get it?
On.
Yeah.
And I mean, how you fellas feeling, man? Talk to me, man. It's a beautiful Sunday.
Yeah.
Patriots in the Super Bowl and
Yeah,
everything
man.
was good.
I'm feeling good, man. You know, like you just said, Patriots in the Super Bowl. You know, we're spoiled as sports fans, and you know, for the 2000s, we're definitely spoiled, man. We definitely seen a lot of Super Bowls, a lot of AFC championships.
Tell them.
But today, man, it's all about, you know, vindication. You know what I'm saying?
Drop for 5, baby.
Exactly. You know, it's all about vindication. We need this one right here, man.
Yeah.
We need this one right here, man. They try to hold us down.
Shout out to our Pat supporters around the world.
Shout out to the non-Pat supporters.
We love y'all.
Y'all hate us.
We
love
y'all.
y'all.
I love that feeling, man. When you go
need it.
places and they just hate us.
They just hate. They hating the rings. They hating the jewelry. They hating the ships.
You know what I mean?
It's cool. Shout out to Atlanta. I'm sorry for the L in advance. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. Salute to the A, man. Definitely, Matty Ice, man. You know, BC representative, man. He definitely played for BC, man. And
Shout out to him, man.
yeah, man. Shout out to Matt Ryan, man. I'm definitely happy as a sports fan to see him, you know, achieve what he achieved this year. But you're going against the GOAT.
Oh,
Yeah.
you heard it right there.
Let's turn this into a sports show today, man.
I'm pretty sure the show ain't gonna go on too long without us going back to the past, man. Because it's just that type of day, man. It's that type of day. I mean, I got my drink I'm looking forward to later and everything. I got the game I'm looking to later, man. So I'm happy. But how are you guys feeling outside of just the Super Bowl shenanigans? How you guys feeling, man?
Energetic, man. Woke up. I'm blessed.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here. It was a, pretty quiet weekend, just hung out with my daughter and,
Yeah,
so I just feel good, man. Feels good.
My stuffiness going away finally.
Yeah. You sound less nasally, dude. You sound healthy.
See, you need to drink more liquor, man. You be drinking all them ciders, man. Drink some liquor, man. Knock it right out.
The last time you gave me whiskey, I was folded. Nah, not happening.
That's a smart man. That's a very smart man right there.
I'm good.
He's cool, man. Cool. But, if you're just tuning in, man, I just want to let you guys know this is the Beat Club. This is where producers are heard. You can find us on beatclubpodcast.com or Beat Club Podcast, everything, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We've been putting on for about a month so far, right?
Yeah, man. It's
been a beautiful month. Shout out to all the producers that have submitted, and even the new artists that submitted as well, and to all the listeners that have been holding us down. We got listeners a little bit everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I was checking the stats, man. We got some people in Canada, Japan, that's just crazy.
That's super dope, man.
This is super dope.
Salute to y'all wherever you stand, man. And thank you to Gag Order Network, for helping make everything possible, man. Everybody on the TuneIn app out there, make sure you search Gag Order Network and catch us live. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what makes this special. We do this live every Sunday.
That's true. And you can always communicate with us on social networks as well, whether it be, Facebook and Twitter right now? Are we doing both?
Yeah, we doing both, man.
We're doing both, man. Yeah. So you can chat it up with us, let us know what
everything.
it is.
Shout out to the people that reach out on Instagram, too. We be getting love on IG.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
And shout out to Bootleg, man. He's tuned in right now. He was actually betting that Mark was going to be late again.
See, Super Bowl Sunday, that don't happen. We on point.
Exactly. Belichick said, "Do your job."
So Marin was here at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I was here. I was outside at 11. Man.
Just chilling,
just drinking.
Exactly, man.
I was tailgating.
But shout out to Bootleg, man, for holding it down, man. Happy Sunday to you too, brother, man. But shoot, I guess I'll just say this. I'm happy to be here. Yeah. I'm happy it's Sunday. Yep. I'm happy it's February. It's the first week of February. It's my birthday month.
Birthday month, man.
My birthday month.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm just happy to be here. I got a little coffee in my system.
Word.
You know what I mean? I'm about to put a little something else in my system.
Let's
and we're
go.
going to listen to some damn beats.
Let's go.
Hey. We're going to listen to some beats, man. But yeah, so let me actually get right up into it, man. I think we're going to play a little Keep It a Cut a little bit today. And then also I think we got a special guest coming through, Marin.
Yeah, man. We got the Arcitype coming up, man. So people out there, if you're listening live and you never heard of the Arcitype, do your research. You know what I'm saying? He's a super producer out of the Boston area. He just recently won that Boston Music Awards Producer of the Year honor.
That's major.
Which is major for the city. But he's been doing work, man, with a lot of dope artists, on the scene for a while. So he's that guy, man. I'm proud that he reps our city, man. Salute to Arcitype. He'll be in the studio soon.
Hey.
That was a beautiful plug.
Yeah, man.
That was a beautiful plug.
You know how we do?
Oh, damn.
Came through with the alley. Like,
yeah, he's on point. I love it. I love it when Marin is here early. Round of applause. Marin is here early. Yeah.
That's right. I got my Stay True hat on today.
That's what it is.
That's what it is, really.
That's what it is. I love it. So, yo, check it out, y'all. I guess we're just going to get right into it. So, with no further ado.
Tweaked it a little bit, huh?
Un poquito.
Yeah, I hear the difference. I hear that bass line that came in.
Cut it. So here's how it goes, y'all. People, producers, they submitted their beats. We listen to the beats. We check them out. We evaluate them. We let them know how we're feeling about them, if we're going to keep it or cut it. We go through. We've been listening to beats for a long time. I mean, we've been doing this for about a month. So I think our ears are pretty much trained on what's going on right now. So we're just going to go through some beats, show some love, and give them some constructive criticism.
I'm with it.
I'm ready, man. So here we go. We got some new submissions as well, which I'm very amped about. So we're just gonna go down the line, man. We got something right now. I think the name is Levale_Beats. That is LEVALE_Beats with a Z. Got a little flavor on it. That's their Twitter name. They submitted something called. Can I get that name? Do you know what that name is, Avi? Can you see that? Something Chances.
Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick.
All right, cool. Well, we'll get back to the name soon. Can't see it, right? It's super long. But we're just going to check it out and let you know how we feel, man. So let's get into it right now.
Hey, yo, Bill. The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
So that right there, yo, is Lavelle_Beats on Twitter. Man, I'm not sure if you heard that whole thing, man. I don't know. Do you need us to pull that back up? Just so you can really listen to it?
Just turn it back up.
Just turn it back up?
Don't bring it back. Just turn it up. Oh.
The Beat Club.
I'm good.
You good? You was bopping a little bit, so I'm interested to hear your feedback now because you was over there bopping and everything. But that was Lavelle_Beats with a Z. IG, you can catch him at Ayo_Vale. That's AYO_VALE. And I think the song was Something Chances. I got to really check that out to see what it is. But Marin, since you was bopping, what's the word?
I would cut it. It was cool though. It was cool. It was definitely cool. Like it had a good vibe, good energy. I definitely could hear. It just depends on the artist or whatever that would hop on it. But it just wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of just generic. But I rocked with it though, but it had a little bit of potential. Definitely probably could have stepped up the mix a little bit. And like there was like that key line that kind of came in, like the keys that was kind of like just like a little off to me, you know. That's kind of what threw me off. But the basic the basic beat itself has potential, so it's something to build on. But for now, right now, I would cut it.
So that's a cut it from bopping ass Marin right now.
Damn. Hey, I was expecting a different answer. This dude's over here bopping.
He's still bopping.
That's
right
still a
there.
good thing, though.
That's still a good thing. That's good.
You already know, man. What we do here is constructive criticism.
Exactly.
Man, so,
But yeah, to reiterate what you said, I kind of agree, man. It was generic. My problem is the sounds on that one, man.
Yeah.
They were basic. You gotta tweak them joints, man. Y'all gotta step outside the box and mess with something
plugins,
else.
effects,
the plugins, the
EQ.
effects. Don't just take the factory sounds. Tweak them. You gotta tweak them sounds, man. But overall, dope beat, just not there for me to keep it though.
All right. I like the way y'all coming through today. Y'all coming through with that Bill Belichick. I like that. So check it out, y'all. I'm gonna say dope beat, dope foundation. However, I'm gonna have to cut it as well. I feel like the sounds need to be taken up a little bit higher. You might actually have everything in place. Like they say, you just might need to tweak your sounds. Show each of your sounds some love if you want to, layer if you need to. But it just sounds pretty basic. But we're over here bopping, which means you got something. Just go back to it, do some extra work, give it that TLC, man.
And man, the other thing I'll mention, sorry to cut you off, Loops.
It's cool.
We have our Tracks That Bang segment.
Yeah.
And more than anything, man, we're like, we're still at a phase where I've been like listening back to podcasts, and I'm like, a lot of the feedback is like you need that artist to fill it up. So I just want to recommend all producers out there, find an artist to build with, man. Find an artist to grow with. Like that's the key. If you could find, it doesn't have to be 10 people. Stop looking for placements. If you could find one dope artist to build with, then you could really, really turn it up, man. I saw a dope interview with Zaytoven the other day, and he was talking about that. Like that's how he came up. With Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And then that turned into everything. And that's like a beat that kind of reminds me of that sound. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you get the right type of artist that could just turn it up, that has a certain personality, a certain voice or cadence. But whatever, I'm rambling.
Nah, you're not rambling. That's all gems right there.
That's good information.
That's all gems right there. Because a lot of the time we be trying to slur out our beats all the time to everybody. You know what I mean? Versus really building with an artist.
Yep.
Because you guys can fill each other out. I think, take those gems, man.
Yeah, and if you already got something, submit to that Tracks That Bang segment
on beatclubpodcast.com. Good alley-oop, bro.
For real, man.
That's what it is, man. But if you like the beat, you can check them out at Lavelle_Beats on Twitter. That's LEVALE_BEATZ. And let us know what you think. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram right now talking about it. But for the most part, that was 3 cut-its confirmed, fellas, right? 3 cut-its?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool, man. I just want to give a round of applause. I see our guest just walked in. I know he's setting up and everything, but shout out to the Arcitype. What up, bro?
Arcitype is in the building.
Yeah. Till I get that sound effect, you know what I mean? Yeah. So check it out, we're going to go to the next beat as well. Make sure I have this right. We got something by Manny Beats Shy. It's called Ultimate. And that's at Manny, that's MANNY BEATSCHI. And you can find him on social media with that name. And it's called Ultimate. So we're going to give it a shot right now.
Ooh, this is EDM too?
We're not rock with EDM, so we're going to see what's good.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
Like that timing on that drop right there. Shout out to Manny Beat Shy, yo. So, fellas, I seen it, but you guys are kind of throwing me off because I see it, but I know you guys see something different. So, Avi, what you think? And keep it or cut it.
That's a keep it. That's heat rock.
That's heat rock all day?
Yeah, I ain't even got no feedback. It's just
shit.
it's just hot.
It's just hot.
Yeah. He did his thing on that.
All right. Well, Marin, you got anything you wish to say? Because you're over here.
What's the producer's name?
It's Manny Beach Shy. That's CHI on the Shy, I believe.
Oh, probably from the Shy.
That's what I was thinking, but
Maybe.
I didn't want to guess. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, yeah, man, that was dope, man. I would keep it off rip.
Yep.
High energy.
Yep.
It was like that EDM / trap feel. You know, everything was just in the pocket. You know. And that's what it's about. If you're gonna do like a typical, you know, type of sound, you have to execute, and that's always my thing. Like it's, you know, some people you could just, there's a difference between when you're trying to capture a sound and you're not quite there yet, but this person hit it on all fronts, man. You know, definitely typical sounds. You know, you know, same snare, same sounds, but it was executed well. It was mixed well. And, you know, it's undeniable, man. So I'll keep it.
100%.
Damn, that was some thorough feedback.
It was.
I don't got to say nothing. I don't. You said everything that I needed to say. That's the beautiful thing about passing it to you guys first. You guys cover it all.
Yeah, I was straight stumped. It was just heat rock, man.
That shit was dope, man.
Yeah, you can't deny great music.
That could rock in the club alone, too, with no lyrics.
And that's what I'm talking about, man. I think that was beautiful. I'm going to keep it as well. At Manny Beats Shy, man. Send us some more heat rock, man. And thank you for switching up the genre a little bit. I know it still had a little bit of those snare rolls and everything in there, but I loved it all. Please send more.
Manny said yes, he's from Chicago.
Shout out to Chi-Town.
What up?
Yeah.
Where you from, bro? What part of Chicago? You from the south side? You from the west side? Where you from, bro?
He's gonna let us know.
I just feel good when people are live.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful thing.
Live
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Yo, so that's 3 keep it's around the board, right?
Yeah, we keeping
sir.
that.
Yo, that's what it is. Thank you for sending those beats. Keep sending them over. And to all the other producers out there listening, send beats of different genres. We like everything.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, let me specify. We like to listen to everything.
That's right, man. Send that music.
He said he's from the south side.
That's what it is. You been in the south side?
I've never been to Chicago.
Same.
Period, man. I definitely got to make a trip out there, man. You know, and you know the media, man, be trying to scare us, man. Like, yo, I mean, I know there's a lot of things going on out there, but you know, they be trying to scare us, man.
Yeah.
They make you want to not go to Chicago.
Yeah.
For real.
But nah, wait, Chicago, don't they got some dope pizza or something like that? Is it always like New York and Chicago pizza always being compared?
Well, yeah, I mean, Chicago's home of the deep dish, the you know, Uno's or whatever. That's supposed to be where it came from. And then on top of that, they got there's a famous fried chicken spot I always hear about. What's it called? Harold's or something?
Damn,
you could correct me. You've had it. That's the Chicago, right?
Ball.
Okay, yeah.
Cosign.
See, yeah, Ark's been there. Ark's been everywhere. We're gonna get into that later.
Yeah. Well, shout out to the Shy, man.
Yeah,
and that was definitely 3 keep it's from us, man. So keep the work up and keep sending the brother. We got another beat that came in, man, from I believe it's I think his social media is It's Keys 93. So that's at ITSQUIS 93. It does sound familiar.
He came to the stew before. He did
right.
the open kitchen.
Okay. Word.
He's Team Gemini. Salute.
All right, so we're going to give it a listen real quick. It's something called Unfinished Biz. And we're going to play it right now.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
So that right there was by It's Keys 93 on social media, Unfinished Biz. Let me go to you, Marin. What was your feelings about that, bro?
Yeah, it has potential. I'll cut it for right now.
There's no cut it for right now.
No, that's what I mean. I'm just saying, like, at the state that the beat is in right now.
All right. So you're going to cut it.
I cut it, man. I'm over here looking at this stupid shit on the screen.
Yeah, because I see the stuff on the screen.
But I'll cut it. I think it sounds like what the title of the track is, Unfinished Business. I mean, I think, I don't know. This is one of those cases where it kind of depends on what I would hear artist-wise on it a little bit. But just listening to the beat, like I didn't like that particular switch, like when the sample switched. That's kind of what threw me off. I probably would have been better off just hearing that loop all the way through, because it is like a little bit of an infectious groove to it. But it just didn't sonically, it just didn't sound. So it might just be the mix that might be throwing me off. It just sounded like it needed to knock a little bit more. So for that reason, I got to cut it this time.
Damn, well put. B?
I think I'm going to keep it, man. It was knocking for me. I actually like the sample switch. It came in at the right time and took me to a different place in the beat. I do agree that it needed to be EQ'd a little better.
Yeah.
The drums could have knocked a little better. They could have, the drums and the percussions could have talked a little better, man. But overall, great idea for a beat. I mean, I don't sample too much, but hey, that sounded good to me.
Yeah. All right. So that's a keep it?
That's a keep it.
And that's a cut it on your end, right? I'm going to say I fall in the middle because it's like, you know what? Screw fall in the middle. I was bopping. I think it's cool. Yeah, could things be touched up? Absolutely. But for the most part, I think it's a decent enough foundation for everything where you could rock to it. You could certainly rock to it. You could certainly send it out, have someone spit on it, or just lean back and chill with it. Like I kind of imagine riding down the street in the summertime with like my windows down or something like that. When I used to have long hair, you know what I'm saying? let it ride through the wind and everything. I'm gonna keep it, man. I think got a good vibe to it.
Yeah, it's just missing the artist to me.
Yeah,
and then being EQ'd a little bit.
Yeah. But I can definitely see where it's going, man. So that's a keep it from me. I keep it from Artificial AV, but a cut it from Mr. Merriman to at It's Keys 93 for Unfinished Biz. So thank you for sending that, bro. Keep them coming. And we're gonna get on to the next one, man. Dope look. We got something from at Hampton Carlton. That is Hampton, like HAMPTON, KARLTON. Sent the track over called Tremble. So we're gonna check it out right now.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
So that right there, man, was Tremble by Hampton Carlton. Avi, thoughts?
Still on the fence, man.
You still on the fence over there too, Mary?
I'll keep it.
Oh, tell us why. What's up?
I'll keep it. The main reason that made me keep it, I still feel like it needs a few more things, but what made me keep it is it still sounded pretty full, because it definitely sounded like it had like a little bit of live instrumentation to it. Like the bass kind of sounded full, and like, you know, might have been a bass player that came in, maybe. Sounded like that might have been a little bit of real guitar. So I don't know, it just had like a real musical feel to it, though, even though it was like, you know, simple. But it definitely could use a, you know, maybe like something something top line, like something. But I rocked with it, though. It definitely sounded full to me. It still had a full feeling, though, even though I would probably add a little bit more. So I'll keep it.
Keep it. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I could hear, like, I don't know, shady aftermath artists on there, like Eminem, Lloyd Banks, G-Unit, them cats. It got that feel to it. But it is missing something. I don't know what it is, but it's missing something. But overall, I think I'm leaning towards the keep, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it. Could be one of those G-Unit bangers. It sounds like that a little bit.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna agree with all you guys. I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep it as well. It was refreshing to hear something a little different. I like sounds that like I said, I always say all the time, I like weird sounds. I like things that make you a little uncomfortable but still fit into the mix as far as sound wise. And overall, it had a decent groove to it where it just fit. It just worked for me. So I would say I would keep it as well. I believe that was a keep it from Marin. That was a keep it from Marin, right?
That's 3.
Oh, that's 3? Oh,
That's
unanimous
3
decisions. Oh, that's 3 keepers. So, shoot. At Hampton Carlton, if you guys want to find them, man, it's HamptonKarlton. That track was called Tremble, yo. So I just want to put everybody on. So what's happening right now, you can't really see it right now, but we got something going on. Arcitype already stepped in. He's working on a little something. We tossed him. Because we do things a little differently here at the Beat Club Podcast, y'all.
Yeah.
Just a little differently. So,
yeah.
You know, we ended up saying, you know, it's Super Bowl Sunday. It just so happens that our team is in the ship.
It just so happens our team is like one of the most storied franchises in NFL history.
Just so happens we technically always there.
Oops.
Yeah.
So, what we decided to do was, you know, Arcitype coming through, bringing his materials through. And he's like, yo, let's just toss him this and see what he can do. You know what I mean? So let's see what's up.
Yeah.
Your team's not in the Super Bowl.
Feeling like John Madden right now, fam.
All right, let me pull that down. So we tossed that to the Arcitype. and said, yo, we want you to chop this up, you know, before we come through and sit down and chop it up, which we want you to chop something up first, man. So he's going to chop up this sample behind the scenes and hopefully play something a little later before we get into his interview, yo. But that right there is that the Monday Night Football or just the NFL football?
I believe that's just the NFL.
Yeah, that's
thing,
the NFL music period.
That's the NFL music period.
Yeah.
So he's going to be chopping that up. Have you guys ever touched that at all? Because, like, the instruments in that are just dope.
Back in the day, came out trash, though.
Oh, word? Yeah, I never attempted, man.
Yeah, back when I had Fruity Loops, man. Yeah.
Oh.
The demo at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah. What? I've always wanted to touch that. I haven't. It just seemed like all the instruments were just plush enough just to mess with, just to chop up and sample. But maybe I need to.
Didn't Flip do something with that?
Flip
I
Jackson.
think he played it during the Chune for Chune.
Yeah, he might have
did
did the Monday night. What's the Monday night football music? Is that music different?
I think
is
it's
it the same?
I don't really know.
He might. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did something.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, in that lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had to, look back on that one.
Yeah, I guess so. We got to search the archives because Flip has been there a bunch of times. Shout out to It's Flip Jackson, man. Find him on Instagram and Twitter. Good guy.
Big up to Gotham City boys, man.
Yeah.
Salute.
But check it out. So we got another submission, man, from I think he goes by Freddie G. On Instagram, you can find him at UTR_alien.
All right now.
So yeah, the alien thing. That means it's got to be out there. It's got to be fresh. It's got to be innovative. So let's see what's good. This joint, I think it's called Aztec Gods.
Yeah, that's what I guessed too.
Yeah, it's Aztec Gods. I see it. Let's go.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
I think that's pretty much a loop right there, man, from Freddie G, man. It's at UTR_alien. Guys, Avi, your thoughts?
You know what?
What's the word?
You know I love different stuff like that, man. And that definitely took you somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was missing something. If
Yeah.
it had a mean bass line in there, I would have kept it. And it almost wouldn't matter what it sounded like.
Yeah.
It would have been fire still. But I didn't hear no bass line, so I'm going to have to cut it. But it's fire, though. I hear the potential in that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a beat I would make.
All right.
Definitely needs a bass line, though.
Yeah, I'd cut it too. It was cool though. It definitely sounded like something that would I don't know. It sounded like a commercial or something to me. Like it sounded like something I would hear in a commercial, like some type of advertisement for something. But yeah, it was just missing something. Yeah, like a bass line would definitely be dope. Just some key, just something. But it had that good foundation, that good groove to just keep you bouncing. We were definitely bouncing to it in there for sure. Dope vocal sample. But yeah, man, you could have spent a little bit more time on it, bruh.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cut it this time, but we
Good
rock
work,
with it
though.
though.
Good work.
We definitely rock with it.
I'm gonna say this is funny because I was just listening to remember Drake's old album, but he had a beat by Kanye called I think it was "Show Me a Good Time." It does remind me of that.
"Show Me a Good Time."
I was just listening to that 2 days ago, and I was like,
it does
yo.
remind me of that. Yeah.
And it was cool, but I believe "Show Me a Good Time" did have like a dope.
It didn't
line.
necessarily have a bass line.
It didn't have a bass line?
What comes in is piano chords. It just yeah, it's just the piano chords. It's just pianos, but it was enough to fill it in. And then, of course, Drake comes in, he's singing. And then there was some scratches. Like, there was just different production things that filled it up. Yep. So that's what I'm saying. Like we said, it's a good foundation. But for us here listening to beats right now, you know,
we need to cut it.
All right,
we gotta cut it this time, bro.
I guess I'm gonna agree with you guys on this one too. That's a cut for me as well. It was really, really good. That's Crown Apple right there. Crown Royal Apple.
Hey, listen, man, they ain't paying us, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Cool. You right.
So we take that back.
That's blank apple flavor. If you wish to fill in the blanks, you can hit us up at beatclubpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any liquor or anything like that, send it over because we like to talk it up over some drinks and everything. Keep it real.
That's real, man. All food spots, man. Caterers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like clothing brands for real, man. Because there's all walks of life listening. We are definitely looking for potential sponsors. You know what I'm saying? We got a few things on the horizon.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, we're not just on the airwaves. We got events and all types of other things on the way. So
yeah, and I wouldn't mind being like fat, fresh, and a little wavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sound like a beat tape.
Word, that does, man. That's dope.
That's the name of the next
That's
beat
dope.
tape.
That's dope. All right, man. So we got another submission, y'all. Because that was all 3 cut-its from the last beat, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So we got another submission from I think it's produced by Surf, a joint called Ah Yeah Beat, and I believe they call themselves Surf Triple God, but Surf is SERF. Not sure of the social networks, but I mean the name is unique enough. I'm pretty sure you can find them. Surf Triple God, beat called Ah Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, there's too many screw faces in here. I mean, was I the only person making the screw face, but not the proper screw face?
Nah. You definitely weren't the
All right, cool.
All right, so the general consensus is we're gonna cut
it.
All right, and I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna agree. When it started off, though, it had potential because it seemed like a dope sample that you could have built off of. But once it dropped, it kind of just came in real. It was just a little bit sloppy. You could have tightened it up a little bit more, and then probably taken it somewhere else. Probably, I don't know. We couldn't listen long enough, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe bring the sample back in or chop up a different piece. But I don't know. It just didn't sound like anything that anybody would like do anything to. I don't know. Maybe for an instrumental album or something, just like an interlude maybe to fill in. But yeah, I think the general consensus is cut it, man. I know I would cut it. So,
any feedback for you, AB?
Yeah, definitely a cut. Man, you gotta do more with the sample. You gotta really listen to the sample and chop up different parts of it, because it started fire. It was hot in the beginning, and then it just switched, and then it got real repetitive. And you got to think, is this keeping somebody's attention while the beat's playing? Like, would an artist pick up on that and want to rap on that? Or sing? You got to think about that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to cut that.
No, it's cool. I think we all agreed it should be cut.
I think you should try, take that same sample and bring it back. Do something else with it.
Yeah. That's good feedback. That's definitely good feedback. I would say it started off like it sounded like it was going to go somewhere. And it sounded like, all right, cool. They're going to bring us somewhere funky. They're going to bring us somewhere different. And then it just kind of hit. And it was just like something was just off. I'm not sure if it was just everything or if it was just the timing of the snares and just how it it didn't sound like anything was communicating with each other enough to say this is a dope beat. It just sounded like a couple of different sounds just sitting on top of each other, and if they landed, they landed.
Yeah, it wasn't quantized.
Yeah,
properly.
yeah. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Sometimes, shit, we don't have to say a lot. If we just feel like we want to cut it. You know, that's what it is. But I definitely thank you for submitting your beats. Feel free to submit some more. But definitely go back and check that one out. Or, you know, leave it and move on to something else. But it wasn't really for us here. You know what I mean? But thank you for submitting. That is producer's name is Surf. That's SERF. So we got a couple more, man, and then we're going to move on to something else. We got something submitted by, what's this person's name? I think their social media is the letter C, the number 4, and then MEO. They got something called Genesis that they sent over. So we're going to take a listen to that right now.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
So that right there was at C, the number 4, MEO, with a track called Genesis. Marin, AV, who wants to jump in first?
I think I like that, man.
You think he was feeling it?
Yeah, it was different from me. I think I'm gonna keep it.
Word?
Yeah.
Alright.
I was kind of lost in it for
Yeah,
a second.
it was cool. It was real cool. So you said keep it?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it.
No additional feedback?
Turn it up a little bit.
Yeah,
Let me hear a little more.
The Beat Club.
I think if I had any feedback for it, that sample needed to be fine-tuned a little bit. And that's my only feedback.
Yeah.
It sounded just not off as far as placement, but the tuning. That's my only feedback. I can hear it because it's irking me a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of annoying, but it's still fine, man. The foundation's dope.
So what are you saying? You saying keep it?
Yeah.
I think we just got hit up on Twitter by Flip Jackson saying Chinks would make an effing anthem on this wavy beat. R.I.P. Chinks. 808s need a little more prevalence, and it's fire.
I forget which one he was talking about. Maybe that was
That just came in at like 1:44, so that was like a minute ago.
Okay.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Yeah,
But,
you've been giving us feedback this whole time.
That's dope. Well, I would say, it felt real meditative. Like it was cool. I felt like I could chill like Indian style and with a drum machine on my lap and just bop. Like it was dope.
Get on your Russell Simmons.
Exactly. I thought it was cool. I definitely thought it was cool. It was definitely an experience. It was definitely it had a good vibe to it. There was nothing that really threw it off for me. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say keep it on my end, but I'm gonna go over to Mr. Marin over here and see what you got to say, bro.
Yeah, I would cut it. The sample was cool though, like the vocal sample, definitely, like that was the good part about it. But you know, like the drums and like I don't know, I'm just tired of that, man. I'm just tired of the arpeggiated roll, hi-hat, snare. Like it's just the same, man. Like let's freak it a little bit, you know. And if you are gonna do that sound, like I said, you gotta execute. You know, it just I don't know, it just sounded regular. But the vocal sample, the vocal, like it definitely had you in a trance, like in a zone. But I don't know, man. Just switch it up, man. It's tough, like I said before, man. When you know, because you hear a lot of beats that just sound the same, so it's kind of hard for you. Even when you kind of nod to it, it's just like, damn, I heard it 20 times. You know, so we respect one thing about Stay True and Authentic Lifestyle, the Stu Beat Showcase. We want to hear originality. We want to hear authenticity. We want to hear, you know, like there's nothing new under the sun. There's only but so many notes on the scale. There's so many sounds. But how do you personalize it and put your touch on it and make it feel like we haven't heard it before? Yeah. And I just felt like I heard it before.
All right. So that was 2 Keep It's, 1 Cut It, with some great feedback from Marin right there.
Yes, sir.
And that right there was Genesis by @C4, the number 4, MEO. So be sure to follow them, show them love, let them know what it is. But thank you.
Man. Thanks for the submission, so much, bro.
I really appreciate it. Yo, we're going to try something a little new since we got a little time before we get into our interview and everything, man. If you're just tuning in, this is the Beat Club Podcast. This is beatclubpodcast.com to submit any beats, submit any tracks. You can read about us and figure out what we got going on. Shout out to Gag Order Network for holding us down. If you're listening live, feel free to interact with us live as Beat Club Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And we have a private group of producers called the Beat Club on Facebook where we share all types of information, share beats, give each other feedback and such. So if you're just listening and you're making beats, come on over, see what's good, and we'll make it happen. So check it out. So we got this thing that we did at the store. We do at the store. It's our first round all the time, where we have something called Chune for Chune.
Chune for Chune.
Chune for Chune, which is, you know, we kind of play our beats. Our people play their beats back and forth, 1 minute at a time, and that's kind of how we do our beat battle. We usually do 3 rounds a pop. And so what we ended up doing is we had a lot of submissions from January from like out of network just through the website alone, and we decided to kind of divvy up those beats amongst me, Mr. Marin, and Artificial AV as well. And we're going to battle with other people's beats right now on the air.
Yeah.
All right, just based off of tracks alone, just track titles and everything. Now, we haven't listened to any of these beats.
We haven't heard any of these joints.
We haven't heard a damn thing.
Very similar to like playing cards, but with beats, man.
Yeah. That's right. This is like a spades game
right
here,
basically. So, you know, if someone wants to lead out and they want to lead out with something that might be a little smooth, I'm going to try to match that. So we're really relying on the producers to start naming their songs right. You know what I mean, with this battle, so don't name it Turned Up and the joint's mad sad and makes you want to go jump off a cliff. Just don't do that.
Or it's sad and it's turned up.
You know what I mean? So the way I guess the rotation is going to go, man, we're going to start off with AV, you make your pick. Then Marin after that is going to make his pick, and then it's going to mean we're just going to go around. We're going to go 3 rounds. Basically, each host has 5 beats to choose from, but we're only going to pick 3. So AV, you're going to actually set the tone right now. And, yep. You set the tone and let us know what's up.
See who I got here.
Where you going?
I see High Def Beats on here, and shoot, this might set it off right. The beat's called Trump.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Uh-oh. Alternative beats.
All right, cool. So we're going to take a listen to Trump real quick. And Marin, get ready to find your pick as well.
I'm ready. I got my pick ready. Let's go.
Oh, you already ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, damn. All right. Let's go.
Let's get it.
America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again.
The Beat Club.
Remember, motherfucker never loved you. Remember, motherfucker never loved you. Motherfucker never loved you. Motherfucker never loved you.
The Beat Club.
Motherfucker never loved that.
Never loved us.
Motherfucker never loved that.
Remember.
Motherfucker never loved that. Remember.
3, 2, 1, time. Marin, what you got to answer with?
I got Black the Beat Man, Street Smart.
All right, Black the Beat Man, Street Smart. Let's
go.
go.
NYC, what up?
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
3, 2, 1, time. I'm gonna hit y'all with that. I'm gonna hit Manny Beat Shy. Got a joint called Bags. Let's go.
The Beat Club.
What y'all want?
I love how that came in. Woo!
The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
3, 2, 1, time. Y'all all know who won that first round, right? I'm just saying.
Man.
Yeah, you might have. You might
have, right?
might have had a slight edge on.
Just a slight edge?
On Black. Black the Beat Man had one with that one.
All right,
It
so
was pretty close.
it was pretty close?
Pretty close.
So
But
what-
I think you had the edge.
had the
I would
edge?
give it to you.
All right,
So-
cool.
So hold up.
I'll give it to you.
How we determining who? Are we just voting amongst us, or should we get the people to call in?
I mean, people definitely. This will be an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
That's the way I want this to be.
Yeah,
man.
let
this
them,
is
let them talk about it online.
Yeah, talk about it online, and of course, not everybody's listening live. So people on the podcast, we gotta come up with something. We gotta come up with a hashtag.
we need
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Chune for Chune hashtag.
Already
BCP
started
Chune for Chune?
Yeah.
I mean, already.
Oh, you already
I just use
AVV
Chune
on
for
it.
Chune.
Yeah,
Why
Chune
not?
for Chune makes
Chune for
sense.
Chune.
Yeah. Just
So-
a Chune for Chune hashtag. So yeah, we'll see what the response is like
Yeah.
close to the end of the show.
So that
live, and then we'll check it out
Yeah.
on the podcast.
that was dope though. That was dope. That was
That was a good round.
That was a good round right there.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Chune is spelled Chune.
Yeah, man.
Just for
Chune.
y'all.
That's patois
Yeah.
for all the folks out
Bad
there.
man thing.
All day. All right, dude. So if that's the case, man, Avi, I'm gonna let you start it back off. And what's your next pick?
Oh, hold on. Give me a second. Let me see. Kelsey didn't feel us that last time, so I'm gonna go with, I think it's called The Hall.
All right, cool.
Yeah. See what's up with that.
All right, man. You already got your pick already. You going?
I'm ready.
Oh, well, what you going about?
I'm gonna go with Thomas Bynum, and the name of the track is Communion.
All right,
I
bet.
love communion.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And
used to
then
go to church just for communion.
based off of that though, I'm gonna mess with Stu_Greto, Blood at the Roots. I'm gonna hit you with that right there. So here we go. So Avi's pick was
The Hall.
The Hall by Kelsey Crittenden.
Don't butcher.
I
it,
went to
man.
art school.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna butcher the name, but we gonna get it going. The Hall, Avi's pick. Ooh, felt that bass.
The Beat Club.
Yeah.
The Beat Club.
Pulled out an ace or a joker on y'all real quick.
3, 2, 1, time. We going
go, Kelsey.
All right. This is next is Thomas Bynum with Commune is Marin's pick, right?
Yeah, man.
All right, let's go.
Let's get these drinks on.
Let's go.
The Beat Club.
Maybe I do need to stand up. I'ma stand with you. Woo! Hey, it's a rise on these people. Cause we got something that they need to stand up for, you know?
The Beat Club.
Yeah. Tell them. Someone for us. Let them know. Yeah. Satan hating on me cause I'm rocking with the lead. Fall in the wintertime.
We gonna let that ride?
Let it ride, let it ride.
I'm sure. Why not? Wrong folder, bruh.
Nah, it's all good. No.
But it was dope though.
Nah, there was enough beat on the joint, but we just had to bring it down.
It's cool.
So we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that.
Keep the beginning.
Yeah,
Keep
we're
the
gonna keep
beginning.
it. That was
a solid
because
beginning.
he wasn't gonna do nothing else. I didn't hear nothing else happening in there. So we're gonna roll. We're gonna roll. We're gonna roll.
I'm gonna hit you guys with
that was pretty hard too.
Yeah, it was. Stu_Gretel Blood at the Roots. Let's give it a go.
The Beat Club.
Time. You guys' thoughts on that one? I'm just saying. Who do you think won that one right there?
I don't know.
I think Avi won that round.
I think so too.
These submissions are hard, yo.
I think Avi, but that was a solid. And I'm glad we're doing this tune for tune segment because we pulling out some fire during this segment.
Yeah, that was actually dope. And we never listened to these joints.
Nah. Yeah,
and this is from out of network.
Yeah,
this is out of network.
That's why, yo. All y'all out of network people, man, hit us up on network. Hit us up on Facebook, man. The Stu Beat Club. Join our exclusive club. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely exclusive. We want to make sure you're really a producer or really involved in music.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of that problem, man, on social media. People be hitting you up. You post Beat Club and dudes just hitting you up like, hey, man, I'm a graphic designer. I don't need no graphic design, fool. I need beats. You know what I'm saying? So we get a lot of that. But, yo, incredible, man. Make sure y'all join our exclusive club for beat makers and producers, the Stu Beat Club on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to expand, you know, our beat club, man, to the website or something, man, to make sure people can get on another way. But, we working on that. But make sure y'all hit us up on Facebook.
That was hot. All right, so Avi took that, though.
I give it to Avi. I would probably give it to him.
I'm digging this segment.
I was close. Cool. I was close again.
Yeah, you was close. Yeah. You was definitely, because it came on, and I was like, damn. All right, so last pick, Avi. Who you running with?
I'm going with Steven Allegretto. I can't see the name of it, though.
Let's see if I can help you out at all. Angelo is real? I don't know. We just going to rock with it, though.
Let's get it.
All right, cool. Marin, you got your beat?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a name I haven't seen before. Derek Easley, and the name of the track is Import Export. He moving them things, fam. So I'm with it. I'm all about import export. Let's go.
All right, cool. And then I'm going to go with I'm gonna go with High Def Beats on Blow.
Okay.
Go for it. All right, so first up, Steven Allegretto. Chune for Chune.
Chune for Chune.
Hey.
The Beat Club.
Coming to murder that.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
Got sexy on him.
Yo, Mark, you might have to snatch this.
Derek Easley, import, export. Marin's pick. Let's go.
Let's go.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
Three, two, one, time. That was Derek Easley. Next up, High Def Beats, Below.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
3, 2, 1, time. Who do you guys think on that one, man?
Come on, fam.
Hey, you see, I didn't even look at you, right? I didn't even look at you.
Yeah, AB definitely got that one. I got shafted that one.
Yeah, I looked right at
that was my
Marin.
weakest round.
I was like, yo, Marin, what you think about? Look right at Marin. Didn't even look at AB.
That's my weakest round, man. Damn.
You know why? Because I got the jersey on that.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. You
that's
got the Gronk jersey on at that.
So just so people know, man, that was the third round of Chune for Chune. That was AV's beat was Steven Allegretto. That's STU_GRETTO_Angelo, I think. I don't know. You have to find him on social network. We'll tag him on our SoundCloud as well. That's one thing. If you can't find him while we're talking, when we release the podcast on Tuesday, you'll be able to check the sound wave and be actually able to see the actual tags the way they're supposed to be spelled with my non-spelling ass. Yeah, and that was Marin. That was Derek Easley on your end. That was import export, and that was High Def Beats Below on my end. So Avi, I think that was 2 for you, right?
Yeah.
You got 2 rounds. I got 1 round. Mark, you took the L, maybe.
Yeah, I took the L in this one, man.
It's cool. It's cool.
You know what I mean? Shout out to all the producers, though, man. Thank you for the submissions once
Definitely.
again.
That was a dope Chune for Chune, though.
That was super.
That was dope. I like that. We got an applause for that. Just
I'm looking forward to this.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that was
man.
dope.
These out-of-network producers join our network.
Yeah, please do, man. Please do.
Get in sync.
So, yo, you know what? Are we gonna get ready to go to?
I was saying, let's take a
break.
Take a commercial break.
So check it out, y'all. What we're gonna do? We're gonna take a commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna talk with the Arcitype, man.
Yeah.
Listen to what he cooked up over there with the NFL sample.
Yeah.
If you're just logging on, gagorthenetwork.com, listen to us live. TuneIn app will also help you listen to us live. Beat Club Podcast everything: Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
That's right.
And we'll be right back. Welcome back, y'all. It is the Beat Club Podcast. We are back from the break. I am Do It All Loops alongside my other hosts.
Yes, sir. It's Mark Marin.
And AV, man.
That's Art Official AV, because the art is official.
Yes, sir.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? And right now we got Arcitype over there, the Arcitype at that. Can you hear us, brother?
Yes, I can. What up?
Can
Can you guys hear me?
We're going to get your mic right. Let's see.
We're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. Get it tight.
Your level's good. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right. We can hear you, man.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say this, man. Welcome to the Beat Club, brother.
Thank you.
Let's
brother.
clap it up for Arcitype.
Clap it up for
man.
the Arcitype. BMA 2016 Producer of the Year. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good. Just trying to figure out how to bounce this file, you know?
Yeah. I know we had you over there working on that NFL joint. How was it going for you? It was pretty simple, or?
You know, it's trickier than you'd expect, man. That one, there's a lot going on. So,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, you're trying to find the right pockets for everything. But I think I came up with something kind of cool, you know, in a short period of time. So.
Yeah, that's right, man. You probably cooked that up in about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah,
25 minutes.
When you first heard it, what was like your approach? Your approach was
I
just
started laughing. When I first heard it, I was like, obviously, yes.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much, man.
No, but yeah, no, I'm psyched to be able to do it.
Nah, that's dope, man. Dope. So, what's going on? What's new? What's happened? I know you got a new project coming out soon, right?
Yeah, man. I got STL Gold. We got our new album dropping February 17th. Yeah, we're just really amped for it, man. I can't even really explain how I don't know, man. This record just is. Mo and I are both really proud of this record.
Yeah.
You know? It came together really quickly, and I don't know. It was one of the I don't know, just kind of smoothest processes putting together a record that I've ever worked on. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways, because you know, Mo and I kind of just kept. Like I'd throw him like what I thought was a curveball.
Yeah.
For a beat, you know what I mean, and be like, hey man, I don't know if you're gonna mess with this. You know, we'll see what it is, because you know, like, you know, Mo has a long-standing catalog, you know, and I was trying to push the boundary a little bit with the sound, you know, for him. So it's definitely a new approach for Mo. Like, the people who have heard the record, like Inner Circle, have been like, what is this? Is this still gold? Like, it sounds nothing like the last record. Yeah. You know what I mean? Nice. So it's a real like development. And then Mo, on the you know, took the ball and ran with it. Like, he'd come back to me and it would be like, it would just be like, he'd say the same thing. He's like, I wrote something to this. I'm not sure, you know, if it's what you had in mind, but this is where I'm at. And every time I heard it, it was like incredible. So
that's dope. And that's Mo Pope, by the way.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mo Pope. That's what I was about to say, man. I'm definitely glad to finally get you in here, man. I'm gonna definitely start this off, you know, before I even start asking questions, by saying that, you know, Arcitype has been somebody that has supported the Stu Showcase from the very beginning. From the moment that we came up with the idea, he was one of the first producers that we did reach out to, and he completely supported us in what we were trying to do, and we appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, man,
like,
I love what you guys do.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Like, you saw the vision, and it was like no hesitation. You know, it was just like, hell yeah, I'm there. Like, you know, how you want to do it? What we gonna do? And we really appreciate that. But talk about, you know, your background as a musician, you know, and how and you know, first off, I want to ask you, artist-wise, genre-wise, what made you get into music? And then talk about your background as an actual musician, because you are a producer, but you play instruments and shit, and not everybody does. So talk about that.
Yeah, man. So, well, I mean, really, what got me into music in the first place was my family. From an early age, my pops had me in music school. My parents had me in music school. And so, I mean, from like my earliest memories, I was playing music in some form or fashion. You know, just banging on a tambourine or something.
Yeah.
You know, but But I mean, I think that stuff's important, and I think it, it lays the foundation of music just being there from the very beginning. And then I was fortunate enough to go to an art-based school where like music was involved in everything. It was like everybody was in. There was no sort of like you didn't sign up for choir class. You were just in choir class. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for better or for worse. For me, it was a little bit for worse. But I got a voice for a producer, so I belong behind the boards and not behind. But
you found that out early.
but yeah, so like music was kind of always there from an early age, but then in terms of my kind of getting to like the hip hop side of things, that really came a lot later. Yeah. It was honestly. I really fell in love early on with American roots music, and kind of went backwards in time. I started at the beginning with early blues, and Robert Johnson and all the sort of development of the early Southern Delta blues.
Got you. So you're a blues musician.
Yeah, I mean that's really where it started for me.
Where it started for you,
yeah.
okay.
And then it developed from that into I mean I kind of just went chronologically through American history,
nice.
Music history, and just fell in love with each decade and what it had to offer, and the variations and the artists that it had to offer, which kind of led me to eventually, through a couple of the decades, got me to, the 70s and funk. And Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton.
Yes, sir.
And it's like, I fell in love with that. And at the time, I was in middle school, and I had a band, and like that's all we listened to. We were like doing P-Funk covers and stuff like
So
that.
where'd you grow up, man?
I grew up out in Western Mass, like out in the sticks.
Okay.
Like right on the New York border.
What town?
It's called, the town I lived in was called West Stockbridge.
Okay.
But I mean, it's so like if you're on the Pike, it's literally the last stop before.
Gotcha.
New
That's
York.
like the Berkshire Mountains
area,
and shit.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it's like, my exit is the last. My folks still live out there, and it's the last exit on the Pike.
Wow.
So yeah, when people are like, "Yeah, I'm from Western Mass. I'm from Worcester," I'm like,
"Dude, that ain't Western Mass."
Bro, like, you haven't even gotten halfway there. So, but yeah, no. So I grew up out there, and that's the other thing. Like that, I think that also affected my musical upbringing because, like, I mean, my parents only got high-speed internet not that long ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's the sticks. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, so if you translate that to, if you just translate that to everything else that I was dealing with, the level of exposure that I had was real limited. Like when I finally did discover hip hop and people put me on, really what it was that, because obviously the radio reached out there,
Yep.
but only certain only certain channels, because it was like, so Albany, New York was like the closest we were getting for like commercial radio. So I was hearing all the top 40 stuff, but I wasn't hearing like, it didn't really move me much. And then someone played me like The Roots and Lauryn Hill, and Fugees, and all of a sudden it was like, and Black Star. The first 5 albums I bought in hip hop, this was in high school. One day I bought Mos Def's Black on Both Sides, The Roots Things Fall Apart, Fuji The Score, Wyclef The Carnival, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and dude. Black Star. The only Black Star record.
You were good for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so it's like, like that particular day was like, and that also coincided with my watching Slam. And that movie, like the combo of that movie and those 6 albums, just was like, it was the end for me.
Damn, that's a solid 6 albums to start like your hip hop journey with, man.
My world completely changed.
Yeah, it will shift your brain.
You know what I mean? Because I had no idea that those artists existed. I had no idea that music existed.
That's crazy.
Because and what it did for me is it took all those genres that I fell in love with, all those decades, and put them all in one place.
Yep, and
where
more
they all coexisted.
And more from your perspective too.
Absolutely. Because that's the other thing. Like when I was playing blues, it's like, I was like a teenager playing blues, and it's like, it's hard to find other teenagers playing blues that want to rock with you. You know what I mean? Like you're on an island.
So you probably did play with a lot of older guys.
I was playing with a lot of older guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like one of these things where with hip hop, it was also like, oh, this is in my generation. Like like this is something I can really like embrace, and I can bring all that stuff that I had been doing to the table and incorporate it in. So it was really like, for me, it was like, it felt like home.
So I know you ended up in Boston area due to coming to school, correct? You went to Emerson.
Sure. Yep.
Talk about that, man, because all the listeners out there, definitely from other places, you know, wherever you are, 88.9 at night. Emerson Radio was so crucial to the whole New England area. I mean, in terms of
absolutely
hearing underground hip hop, you know, what you were not going to hear on mainstream radio. I mean, it was super important to us, man. And I think you would. What year did you end up at Emerson College?
I was at Emerson in let's see, it was 2000. I started. They accepted me a semester late, actually, so because I was waitlisted. So I think I technically started in 2003.
Yeah.
So it was January 2003.
Yeah. So that which is a great time.
Amazing.
Which is pretty much like that's the last leg, like that's that last generation.
Yep.
On out. Talk about, you know, the Boston hip hop music scene during that time. You know, starting school, and you know, and that's kind of where you made your bones.
Yeah.
So talk about just the environment, the type, you know, the artists that you were working with, or you know, coming in contact with during that time that kind of sparked the flame for, you know, what's been happening for you as of late.
For sure. Well, it was funny because I really had to like get acclimated. I like, you know, being out where I was for high school and growing up, I had no idea, like, you know, my CD store had the smallest hip hop section ever. You know what I mean? It was literally one half a rack, you know, like just this one little section. And I used to just go in there and buy random things. I had no idea who these people were. You know what I mean? So like, for example, I owned a 7L and SO record.
Dope.
I didn't know, you know, I was like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know where they're from. I knew nothing. So, like, when I came to Boston, I didn't know that 7L and SO were from Boston. I had no idea. But I owned their album, you know what I mean? Because I also didn't have great internet. So there was not a whole lot of research, you know what I mean? So I was kind of in the dark. So I had to, like, literally learn about terminology and Rex and all those people. Like, really didn't know those guys, you know? Oddly enough, that's a funny story, is that Rex... I ended up meeting Rex at Waltz Audio years later when I used to work over there.
Big up to Waltz, man.
Yeah,
Waltz is a
legendary
studio in the Boston area, man.
Hell yeah.
Salute to
that
Waltz.
That was a huge piece of my getting into the scene for sure. So Tom is definitely responsible for that, for giving me a shot. But you know, it's funny. I learned that I ran into Rex there because he was working with Edmund Flo down the hall, and
Demo too.
Yeah, for sure. Demo Beats, Beast. And I learned that I put the pieces together that I had actually seen Rex when I was in high school at my friend was going to Mount Holyoke College, and he opened up for De La Soul, and I went to the show because I love De La. And he opened up and he threw a bunch of CDs in the crowd, and one landed at my feet. And it was Along Came the Chosen.
Yep.
And I was like, this kid's nasty. And I listened to it the whole way home from the show and like owned the record, but never, you know. And when I met him, I had no idea it was him. It took me years later to realize that was the dude.
Same dude.
You know what I mean? So this is crazy. But yeah, man. I mean, Boston was a crazy place at the time because there was like a lot of stuff was popping off. That was around the sort of terminology, Watch How It Go Down era when like.
Yep.
Like there were big records. I mean, like that thing moved, you know.
Yeah.
But it was also in kind of a weird state because I don't think Term was like. I think he was living in New York at that time, and he was. I mean, he's always been back and forth a lot, you know what I mean. But like hip hop was in kind of an odd. There wasn't a great sense of unity in it. There was kind of a dog eat dog mentality there.
Yeah.
You know, and so. You know, and from a guy, you know, the perspective of a guy coming in just trying to figure out how to even enter the place. I mean, thank God for UGHH, man, because that was like, that's when they had the storefront, you know, over on Huntington, you know, and it was like, there was like an obvious place you go, you know, and you could like sort of gain your bearings a little bit and understand what's happening in the city a little bit that way. So thank God that was there, because now that's not. I mean, you know, it's there as a warehouse.
Sidebars to cut you off, man. Big up to undergroundhiphop.com, man, and definitely the resurgence of it, because it was sad news for like a few days.
It definitely was.
They shut down, and then you know, somebody came through and helped to preserve it, man. So all of those guys, man, all of you guys, we appreciate you, man, because underground hip hop is where I discovered a lot of firsts.
Oh, 100%.
That's where I got my first Slum Village stuff from. You know, white label Slum Village.
Yeah, man.
You know, Most Def. You know, so yeah, man. But continue on, man.
So, you know, I was just gaining my bearings really at the time, and Emerson was a great place to be for that, actually, because of the radio station. So it was like all of a sudden, like I said, UGH it was there, and 88.9 at night was like sort of your study guide.
Yep, for real.
You know what I mean? And not for nothing, I was hearing interviews with Mo Pope on the radio long before I knew him. You know what I mean? So it was cool. It was a way for me to really kind of tap in and learn. And then, you know, at the time, I just was trying to find my people to work with, you know, without having much access to anybody. So, oddly enough, in my orientation group, Esh the Monolith was also going to Emerson, and we met in my orientation group and became really good friends.
Dope.
And it took us 10 years before we actually made any music together. We were just homies.
That's what makes it solid, man.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, cause he was doing his own thing. He was living in Providence at the time, and he had a lane that he was working in, and I had a lane I was working in, and we worked together, sort of, but it was kind of more like just out of mutual respect. You know, it was like,
no doubt.
But he was helpful in kind of schooling me. He schooled me a lot to the Providence scene, with a lot of what was going on down there with Sage Francis and all those guys, you know, and Amzuno and Clockworks and some of the history down there. And so I got to learn it through him, and then he kind of put me on a little bit out here. And then I also ended up meeting this dude, Vice Versa, who I ended up doing a lot of work with. I think we did, you know, something like four albums or something together. And he was instrumental in my kind of really getting involved in the scene, because Jason Treff's Elemental Zazen. He knew him and looked out for him and got him tied in with Leeds to do some shows, and then that was when all of a sudden I started meeting, like, you know, I met Slipwax, started meeting all the people in the scene a little more, and going to shows and kind of realizing that was where the community was.
So I have a question. So do you, I mean, to all the producers that are listening in, do you kind of promote going out there and being amongst the scene and networking
100%.
to kind of get your name out there? Because there's a lot of folks that are just sitting at home.
I can't possibly express how important that is. You know what I mean? It's like, you could be I always say this, you could be the nastiest producer in the world, and if you're doing it in your bedroom and no one's hearing it, like it's equal parts, you know, talent and work on the craft, as well as networking and socializing and just being around. You know what I mean? Like, and being around the right way. You know, not being a thirst bucket. You know, like, you gotta go out and just talk to people and hang out with people, and not like be slinging your beat tape, you know, or your thumb drive with beats constantly. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, you know, there's stories where that works. You know, and you know, I know a few of them. You know, and they're homies of mine, and I don't know how they're very lucky. You know what I'm saying? But the best way I can call it is to just entrench yourself in a community and be part of the scene. And when the time is right, bring up what you do and how you do it, and make sure that when you do, you're hitting them with, like, the hottest fire you got. You know what I mean? Because that's when you make an impression. You know what I mean? Like, when you just been a cool dude that people want to kick it with, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I make some beats too, and you put them on, and they're like, dude, these are better than any beats I work with right now. Then, like, why wouldn't you be the next guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're about to drop everybody they're working with and work with you. You know what I mean? Because they're like, well, you're way easier to deal with than this dude I got to deal with, and his beats aren't as good as yours. Now, I'm not saying I went that route, but I'm just saying that's my advice.
Yeah, no, it's great advice. It's great advice, because I know there's people that don't necessarily know how to kind of take those steps in a direction where they can be heard outside of, you know, their circle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not everybody's really like a conversationalist or networking. So
yeah, man, and you know, I feel like it's not even necessarily, you don't even have to be so much of a conversation. Like, I'm not the greatest people person in the world. Like, I'm not an outgoing dude, you know, like for real, dude. Like my girl hit on me at the bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that. Geez. Like, I wouldn't have, like, I'm shy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. You know, I'm not the dude to necessarily strike up a conversation with a stranger, but you just go out enough and you put yourself in those moments enough, and you become more comfortable. You know what I mean? And it's not an overnight thing. You know, it takes time.
So are you more pro talking on the internet with folks, like there's people that always hit me up or artists up in their inbox. They never really set foot outside the door, and they're always like, the internet.
I mean, I think it's both. I think
both,
at
both,
this
right?
point, especially, you know what I mean, with the internet being dude, it's in your pocket 24/7. So basically. It's like, so yeah, absolutely. But I think, like if you're an up and coming producer and you're trying to like get yourself into a scene and find artists to work with, you got to go to all the events. You got to go to the stew, whether you're part of the stew, in the stew, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like that. Why wouldn't you? Yeah. It's a scene that everybody's like, that producers are going to be in, and a lot of artists are going to go to try to find producers. So like your being in the room, it's almost assumed that you have some sort of a reason to be there. You know what I mean? Either you're a huge fan or you're a participant, one or the other. Like otherwise you're not going to go. Yeah.
And Mark says that all the time. Mark's like, we're all in this building for a reason.
Absolutely.
Period, man. We don't take these moments for granted. Like this moment here, man, like what instruments do you consider yourself like proficient?
I consider myself a proficient hack at the piano and the guitar.
Okay, so both. Now, talk about at least. I mean, obviously that means you know how to read music.
No.
You don't.
I don't.
So you.
I used to back in the day.
I salute you for that.
I can tell you like a note or two in here, but you can't put like sheet music in front of me. I'll look at you sideways.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so you just attack the keys.
It's all feel, man.
It's all feel. You know how to find chords. Yeah. Probably music theory. The basic
I took
music
lessons.
theory.
Yeah, I took lessons, so I learned how to play basics, and I know music theory, but like I'm not a sight reader in music at all. And it would take me. I could quicker decipher a song by ear and play it for you than I could read it on sheet music.
I grew up the same way. I took piano lessons for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. And that doesn't have, and that's all it is. You just need enough chops to be able to, like I said, be a proficient hack, myself.
It's a feeling. It's a feeling. Now talk about your equipment of choice. You don't have to give away too many secrets, but what do you like to use, man? So, what's the most comfortable setup for you to use as a producer, man? Just on some hip hop beat making.
Yeah, as of right now, my standard rig is Reason. That's my standard rig. It's been my rig for years.
Propeller head, man, cut a check, man.
But I gotta say, man, I've been developing a really great relationship with Native Instruments, and their stuff is incredible. I mean, like, it's really amazing, and it's been changing how I'm working. So this year, I'm really seeing it kind of becoming a hand-in-hand, like a marriage between Native Instruments, not just machine, but the complete control is unbelievable. That thing is just... I've been using that like crazy recently. So that's what I'm saying, like, in this case, in here... in the short amount of time I got, I was all Reason because it's like no time to mess around. Yeah, but like when it comes to working on records right now, I'm really heavily in the Native Instruments stuff because their stuff's just incredible, So, and they're also cool, man. Like when I was talking to them about it, they were like, "We love everything you do. You just don't use our stuff." But they understood that like. That they're just one tool in the toolbox, you know what I mean? They don't expect to be, the main rig necessarily, but they were saying like, we'd love you to check our stuff out, see what it is, and like, they made me a believer because that stuff's incredible.
Yeah,
it's really amazing.
I agree, man.
So I'm thrilled.
I rock with Machine now, so like, we
gotta move on over.
We've all discussed it. Avy's on Reason.
Reason gang to the heart.
Reason gang right there.
Hashtag Reason gang.
A lot of Reason users have been hitting me up, and they're like, "Oh man, you converted. You're a traitor." And I'm like, No. I expanded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's all together now. So that's the whole idea. Because I mean, like at the end of the day, there's. There are just certain things that one can do that the other can't. One can do better than the other. And so it's all about using, and at the end of the day, when I'm making records, I'm also like going out into the live room and putting live organ and live Rhodes and all that stuff.
Yo, this dude does this on stage. This guy, listen, is a super multitasker on stage. This dude will pull out the bass real quick, play a riff, then run behind the keyboard and get that riff off. It's incredible to see, man. And that's what like a Still Gold show is all about.
That's dope.
Now tell us about the meaning of Still Gold. What does that mean? I've never asked you before Mo that ever. And Mo, you know, I've known you for years now too, and I've known Mo for years, and I've never even asked him that question before.
So, The Outsiders is one of Mo's like all-time favorite books and movies.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of it as well. And when we first started working together, you know, it just sort of, I mean, if you listen to Mo's lyrics, he mentions Outsiders and references to the Outsiders all the time. You know what I mean?
He does.
And it's a big theme in Mo's music in general. You know what I mean? It's sort of like is literally the outsiders, you know, coming together and forming and finding power in themselves and supporting each other and being there for each other. You know what I mean? And you know, that's kind of, I think, how Mo has always seen himself and his group and his collectives. You know what I mean? So when it came to the naming of our group, you know, it was originally we were looking at Stay Gold, because there's the line from the film, you know, or from the book Stay Gold, Pony Boy.
Yep.
And Stay Gold was actually taken by some sort of like German EDM group or something that was signed to Interscope or something. So they were, we were all about battling them for it until we saw they were signed to a major, and like I was like, it's not worth it. Yeah. So Still Gold is was the alternative from that, and you know, we just decided to take all the vowels away and one of the L's and and just go with the STL GLD. So we get mistaken for being a St. Louis group all the time.
STL.
we didn't really foresee too much, but.
So wait, I have a question too. You also you still have the studio and everything as well.
Oh yeah,
too.
of course.
Can you plug the studio so people know?
Yeah, the Bridge Sound and Stage is my home base up in North Cambridge, and you know, we got two different two different rooms. Studio A and Studio B. Studio A is a full scale. I mean, we could record an orchestra.
Oh, dope.
You know, crazy. So that's one of the greatest things about the place is like I put live strings and live horns on records because we've got the space to do it, you know.
And how long have you had that space?
We are going into our 8th year. This is our 8th year.
Dude, that's awesome. Now, was that always the goal to get a space like that?
You know, yeah, it was. I mean, like, one of the things that I'm really, my heart is set on is trying to develop opportunities for the music scene in this city to operate at a level that is playing with the majors. You know what I mean? Like, this Boston's kind of like, the market in Boston is kind of not really held to the same level as New York, LA, Atlanta, Miami. You know, those places are considered the big leagues, and we're sort of like the farm team. Yep. You know what I mean, in terms of the scene. And I think because of that, like I said, when I first moved to Boston, there was a lot of disconnect, and a lot of people were leaving the scene because they needed opportunity. So the idea is to try to foster that sense of opportunity and real opportunity by creating scenes in the city that allow artists to have that. So the Bridge was always one of those things. I wanted to make a place that felt like, you know, every city's got its kind of historic studios, you know, and it's places where it's like, man, that's where the magic was happening at this time, you know. And I really want, like, you know, D&D studios in New York and Chung King, and you know, and I wanted to make that studio for Boston. You know, I felt like I could do that, and I wanted to make it a place where the entire community in Boston feels open, has the ability to work there. So, like I said, we have our Studio A, and then we have Studio B, which we offer for $35 an hour. You know what I mean? Which is like,
can't beat that.
That's candy, right?
You know what I mean?
Candy.
Like legitimately, we were getting people coming in with bedroom recordings, trying to get us to mix them for them, and it's like, I'm not even hating on bedroom recordings as long as you got a guy who knows what he's doing in a bedroom. You know what I mean? Yep. But that was the problem, is they didn't. So it's like, we're trying to mix these records that sound terrible. And
that reflects on your reputation.
Exactly.
Too. You're like,
you know,
shit, I ain't putting my name on
exactly.
this.
So it's like, you know, so we created the space so that people, we could have an alternative for these people that were paying bedroom rates, you know, and say, look, you know, we'll give you that comes with an engineer for $35. So it's like, you know, you're sitting there getting a good recording in a booth with a great engineer and good mics and good preamps, and I wanted it to be that way so that anybody, a kid who's recording his first song can come and record at the same studio that Macklemore's in the night before.
No
you
doubt.
know what I mean? Like, because that's where there's a sense of opportunity, you know? So the Bridge was always a place that I wanted to create that feel for. There's been plenty of times when I've been working with, like, Slane in Studio A, and he hears somebody in Studio B and goes down and chops it up with him. He's like, who are you? What's your name? That shit sounds crazy.
That's really
You know what I mean? And, like, that kid didn't expect that to happen that day. You know what I mean?
That's super dope, man. And that's something that, you know, that's commendable. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely provide a platform with the studio space, but on top of that, you have, you know, what I would call like a boutique label. You have AR Classics, which is, you know, like, you know, it's tailor-made stuff, man. It's, you know, you have your logo that's like your handcrafted.
Yeah.
like it's everything that comes out on your label is super tailor-made. And we talk about on this show, even with the Cut It or Keep It segment, we always talk about, you know, producers attaching yourself to artists, and you seem to always do that. You have Esh and Arc. You have Still Gold.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You work closely with Friend P, aka Noel Pancho.
Yep.
You always have these, you know, like, you know, these marriages, you know, of producer and artist. So talk about AR Classic and why, you know, there's a focus on that, because it's clear as day. And even Spender's recent project, Shards of Glass, you put that out on your label and was heavily involved in that. Talk about that.
So for me, I mean, I feel like I don't know. There's something that I miss in the old days of how records used to be made, where, you know, a label could provide you with a home. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, okay, we're going to put out your music and that's it. You know what I mean? It was like, no, we can give you resources like a recording studio. You know what I mean? It's like Motown, it's Hitsville. You know what I mean? Like, that's the idea. It's like trying to bring it back to that idea of like, we're going to craft your record here. You know, it's not like we're not going to just, you know, wait for you to send us a master and some artwork and put it out. You know what I mean? And we've operated that way as well. But like, the idea is to try to get a little more hands-on and really tailor these records and make records, and part of that is a real hands-on approach from me involved in most of these projects. You know, recently I've also, on the production side of things, partnered with Frank the Butcher, and we're in a
Cooking to Kill.
Yeah,
oh my goodness,
that's the new production duo, and like that's open. It's cool too, because it's basically opened up this whole secondary lane for that kind of thing, you know, where Cooking to Kill is almost its own development brand as well.
Yeah, it's real street, man. Shout out to Avenue. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Mass Ave and Lennox project.
Yeah, and
it's stuff sounding good, man.
Yeah, man, and Frank takes on that same kind of idea. You know, he has the same sort of approach that I do. You know, we find ourselves on the same page, you know, in terms of thought process and approach to all aspects of putting out a project. So I feel like, you know, it was a match made in heaven with that, and he's been involved, like, you know, there's a Cooking to Kill joint on the new Still Gold record. You know, we were really trying to like merge, sort of like, you know, kind of intermingle the two different brands, his BAU with AR, and we've got some other things we're plotting on for later this year, but. You know, the whole approach is always like, okay, like, how do we take this and run this through our system, our studio, our look? You know, we have a graphic designer that's my in-house guy. You know what I mean? It's so everything's really like, this is like our treatment of it. You know, so
that's dope.
It's dope.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
Yo, so with everything that you have going on, and you know, I like to always segue it to producers that are just trying to start up.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where producers just do it for a hobby.
Oh yeah.
And they don't really, you know, they think their only outlet is to try to shop it to these mainstream artists to try to get on as soon as possible.
Yeah,
but
sure.
And when that doesn't happen, that can actually become discouraging.
Oh yeah, for
you know
sure.
what I mean?
And
make you feel like, you know, I don't even want to do music anymore. You know.
100%.
What would be your words to folks, especially those producers that reach that point, as far as like, maybe you don't want to necessarily focus in this area because there's all this other
I mean,
out here. Like,
I'm a huge believer in throwing things in every direction. You know what I mean? So like that, by all means, I have my stash of things I shop to the majors and everything. You know, I for the placements and all that. But I also work on these records with artists that are in my network. You know, and try to develop projects and work on things with people that are at hand, so that you're putting out content and you're feeling creative and you're feeling reward, you know, from the music you make, you know. Not for nothing, I think in some ways it's almost like, you know, you could be the kid who lands the next, you know, whatever, young somebody or Lil whoever or whatever, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, yeah, so you get on that album and it's like, cool, you get a check, and the next day you may not, that may be it, you know what I mean? That may be the end of it. Now some people, you know, it's a big break for them and they're able to then, you know, get a foot in the door on the industry, and that's good. But it doesn't happen for everybody. I know plenty of people who got a huge placement and are still, you know, working a 9 to 5 trying to, you know, make ends meet because they got the one check, and then eventually that check kind of ran out and that was it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the whole point is like, you know, it doesn't, a placement doesn't guarantee you a career, you know. So if you can launch an artist though, you know what I mean, and you're involved in the development of that artist from the ground up, and you have a good relationship with that artist, 9 times out of 10 that artist is, you're going to be a big part of like why that artist is going to continue. I mean, look at Macklemore and Ryan Leslie. There's Macklemore and Ryan Leslie.
Lewis.
I'm sorry, Lewis.
But Ryan Leslie is a notable producer from this area too.
Yes, sir.
He's a genius.
Yes, sir.
No, he's my bad.
Yeah.
I'm crosswired.
But yeah, Ryan Lewis is dope too.
Same, but that's the idea. You know what I mean? It's like they went up together. You know what I mean? It's like, so, you know, I think it's a great way to put in effort, and also, like I said, you feel that reward. You put out music, you know what I mean? Yeah, maybe you didn't get a Billboard top charted record, but like you can still make noise and you can still do things in a big way independently.
And it pays off in the long run. You gotta think that long game, man. Publishing, and I mean, so in brief words, as brief as possible, talk about, you know, publishing. And of course licensing, which you've done a lot of. Yeah. Like you know, you have tracks featured on, you know, ESPN, you know, all type of things like that. Talk about the importance of that and what's the best way to get into that game, because that's a completely different ball game.
I mean, and that's one of the other things I was talking about when I say all these avenues to be putting your work in. It's like that's a whole other area that I have a lot. I have something like 400 tracks in circulation on TV at any given time. So, and they're on all sorts of networks, Kardashians, all that, you know. And it's like, that's just another source of income, but also another source of reward and success, you know what I mean? And it builds the resume as well. So it's like one of these things where when you finally get that meeting at the label that you've been waiting for, and you show them what you're doing, if you're just like, well, yeah, I got this catalog of beats I've been sitting on for placement, and that's all you got to show for it, then it's not really like you're just waiting for that break. Whereas if you go out and get it, you know, with developing independent artists and doing some of these licensing and placements, then you have track records of success to show these labels, you know what I mean, which is a big thing. With to briefly jump into the licensing thing, you know, there's a lot of services out there that you can kind of get a foot in the door with this stuff, like Taxi's one of them. There's a few others. I happen to have a situation where one thing led to my deal, which was being part of a contest. Duck Down did a competition, a submission contest for 2K Sports. It was like the particular one I was in was for 2K11, so you know it was years ago. And I submitted a beat, and it had all that stuff. Always has to be all original, sample free, because TV doesn't mess with anything, and video games don't mess with anything. So I put it in. I was a finalist in that. And this was before I was working with Duck Down, so that was like me trying to, like, that was a foot in the door thing. I was like, all right, well, here's a way for Duck Down to hear some of my work, because I'll submit to this. So I ended up being a finalist, and I didn't win because it was that's a whole another story. But it's crazy when you can vote for yourself endlessly. How kids get 250,000 views or votes. That is, and it's crazy. Anyway, but that's a whole nother story. Point is, I got a call from this dude who was basically launching a boutique publishing company, and that's how I developed my relationship with this, you know, the guy that I work with. So, but that's a great example of what I'm talking about. Is like putting yourself out there. If I hadn't submitted to the Duck Down thing, I never would have met this dude. And this dude I've now been working with for 7 to 8 years really closely, to the point where, like, I went to his wedding. Like, you know what I mean? I was like,
that's dope,
you know what I mean? Like, that's the relationship we now have. So it's like that relationship was built out of that, taking that one chance. So
that's dope, man.
I got something for you. So before we actually segue into the beat that you cooked up over there, I know you got an event
Yeah,
coming up February 11th.
So we have two things. The Still Gold album release party is February 17th at the Middle East upstairs.
Nice.
And I want everybody there.
Yeah, man. I don't care where you from, man. Cambridge, Massachusetts, man. Make the trip.
So definitely be there for that. The album comes out that day. We'll have all that product in the place.
It comes out on what though? Like
on the 17th. On AR Classic.
Yeah, albums drop on Fridays now, people.
Yeah,
they drop on Fridays. It's gonna go Spotify for it directly.
Yeah,
to
it'll
the
be
website.
everything. It'll be on everything.
Gotcha.
Everything. So then, and then this year, I'm happy to finally be able to present this thing I've been cooking up for a while and trying to just put together. But back in 2014, I did a one-day beat tape where I went into Animal's streetwear shop back when it was set up right off Newbury. Shout out to Matt. And in 8 hours, I made a 10-track beat tape from scratch and put it out that night. So it came out in the store from 8 to 10. We did the release party. So, and ever since I did that, it got a really great response, and it was a really cool format. And I've been toying with the idea of turning it into a series, and this year I finally did. And so I'm doing them every other month at Mass Apparel in Alston.
Yo, big up to Mass Apparel, man.
Yes,
they're doing a lot of great things.
They certainly are. Those guys are great. So yeah, this coming Saturday, the 11th, we're starting the first one, and my homie Lightfoot is going to be the producer on deck, and he's going to go in. It's called The Shift. So he's going to clock in for his 8-hour shift and create a beat tape.
That's really dope.
I like that name.
So
man.
it's
That's
10
dope.
track every time, right?
It doesn't have to be 10 tracks.
Okay,
no,
okay.
I'm not putting any restrictions on how so I happen to do a 10 track all original sample free beat tape. That's how I work, right? I'm not trying to make everybody work my way. I want them to work their own way. So the only thing I'm requiring is that by the end of 8 hours I have 25 minutes of music. You take that however you want to do that. You know what I mean? Because I know dudes who might make one track that's 25 minutes long that changes and morphs and does all kinds of great. And you know what? Who am I to say that that's not dope? That could totally work. So
that is dope.
So for real, I'm just leaving it open ended in that way. You know what I mean? And just trying to make something, just giving them the platform to be creative in an 8-hour period and put a beat tape out that night. You know what I mean? So it'll drop the same day that it's created.
Now, last question I will have in regards to that, because I think that's incredible.
That's dope.
Producers out there, how are you picking the producers that get involved with the shift? Can people submit to you?
So initially, I'm sort of just hand selecting and kind of curating this thing.
Yep.
You know, it's just because there's certain people I want to kind of put on. But after announcing, I already got 3 people hit me up without even having done one of these things. Had 3 people hit me up asking how they can submit. So as of right now, there's no submission process, but that is definitely coming. You know, that's something I totally intend on doing, because it is something I'm trying to build to be something that can, again, like The Bridge was, something that lives in this city, that exists in this city, but has a reach that's farther than this city. So producers from other cities see it, they want to come be part of it, you know, and they're recognizing that a scene is being developed in Boston that promotes good music and can operate on a national level.
Yeah, we do dope shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a perfect just to hear all this great information.
Yeah, man.
When we got the Pats in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got to segue into that, Ben, because if you're just tuning in, you missed the majority of the show, so round of applause for you. But we tossed the Arcitype sample, man, from the NFL. We'll just play it real quick so you can actually just get a listen to it. Check it out. So you all know that, guys. That's the NFL theme music right there. So we tossed that to the Arcitype.
Yeah.
And we gave him about 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's not as developed as I might like it, but I think it's
20 to 30 minutes isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he had to come in here, set up, boom, 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 and then we just threw him a flash drive.
yo, take that. So we're gonna see what he did, man, and see what's up. So here's a listen.
The Beat Club. The Beat Club.
Oh.
Hey man, you need to send this to Mopo.
I might.
This shit sound crazy.
That sounds monstrous. I like that.
The Beat Club.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's dope. Nah, it's dope.
Man,
That's dope.
Listen,
Hot shit.
Producers, listen. On them cut it or keep it segments, did you hear what this man made in 25 minutes? Y'all better step y'all submissions up.
he didn't just take it and just threw drums and a snare and some hi-hats on it. He did some work to it. You know what I mean? And it's really hard to make a beat that quick. And that's just a dope loop right there.
And that's what we do at the Stu Beat Showcase,
all day,
man.
on the spot.
So, you know,
on the
that's
spot.
how we do it.
So check it out, man. Before we actually go and settle with the Arcitype as well, we have this little segment that we have called Tracks That Bang. Yep. All right. So we had Tracks That Bang, and we put it out there to the people out there. If you're an indie artist, an indie recording artist, and you have original production on your track, we asked everybody to go to beatclubpodcast.com to submit their tracks. We were going to listen to them and see what's what, and play our favorites. So each host here has their selection, and I'm actually going to go with, I think AV has a selection first, right? So let me go over here to Tracks That Bang. AV, can you tell them a little bit about the track that you selected and why you selected it?
Yeah, the artist name is I believe you pronounce it N.O. Abasi.
Yeah.
I actually just came across him on Facebook, and the track's called 1990 Now. And you know, I was born in the 80s but raised in the 90s, so that kind of drew me in right away. And I'll let the track talk for itself though.
All right, cool. So we're going to give it a little listen right now with Tracks That Bang.
The Beat Club.
Okay. Hey, the hottest nigga rhyming inside of the Mississippi. Here to fuck the world as soon as these hating niggas unzip me. Cause top dog like I run with some black hippies. Kill the game simply, black body bags and black zippies. A fresh to death, you gon' need a shovel to dig me. Crystallize my 16s and sniff me. I'm raw as fuck. My crew bless you with our presence, cause the lords of us. A bunch of fly fuckers who fearless. Check out the balls and dust. Been doing it, Nike should have endorsed the nuts, but they ain't see it coming like blind niggas who lost their nuts. Pass it across to us. Y'all done floss enough. You married to the game. Don't let a real nigga divorce you up. The game stepchild, record labels ain't foster us. Caught on nigga my daddy, I Dame Dash it and boss it up. I'm Ricky Ross it up. Straight out of Harlem from ground zero to crown hero, mighty King Arthur and his song. 1990 now, chicks a funky child. Coming straight from the underground. Illmatic, feels down it.
The Beat Club.
1990 now, chicks a funky child. Coming straight from the underground. Illmatic, feels down it. Yeah, into the death of it. I run the game like Jews, work harder than any Mexican. 24 karat gold. Yeah, the freshest shit. The flow could have been buried alive with King Tut. I've been a charm on one of his gold necklaces.
So check it out, yo. So that was a track that bang submitted by AV. Who was his name? What was his name again?
N.O. Abasi.
N.O. Abasi. That was actually dope, man. That was really dope.
That was a real dope track, man.
That was dope.
I like that, man.
Raw hip hop.
So
Real raw hip hop sound right there.
So check it out. So I was checking the folder, man, for the tracks that bang. I could say there was one thing about all the submissions, or the majority of the submissions, they really got to work on their mixing. Like they have a dope song, but their mixing just really threw it off for me.
Yeah.
So there was a couple that came through that I was like, damn.
Hey man, y'all can't be hasty out there. I know as soon as y'all lay it down, y'all want to send it in, man. But you know, let the engineer play with it a little bit. You know. Yeah,
for sure. So, but I did find this track. It was by an artist from Jersey. I think they live in California now. It's a chick by the name of, it's a girl by the name of Els Coles. It kind of reminded me of I don't want to say her name wrong. Is it like Lakely 47? The chick that wears the mask and in Brooklyn. You know, I
know what you're talking
about.
I'm talking about. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I'm
she
not
has
familiar.
A weird name.
I'm not familiar with her.
But she's but that artist is dope. But this kind of reminds me of this kind of like a feel good track as well. And she just kind of rides the beat. I think it's pretty cool. So we're gonna take a listen to it right now. It's Els Cole with Wham, I believe. Track that bangs.
3 to the 4. I see a lot of groupies when I walk through the door. Time for me to assassinate the DJ. We play everything except DDK. Party all night with the drums and the bass. Got the snares, got the ace, mace in their face. It's a load of dirty shame. You tryna play the game, got your hands up like you being picked for the fame. Ha, I'm a natural hustler, real crime stopper. The boys hop pop after me like grasshoppers. But they bunnies getting jealous. Chill, ladies. I'm not tryna see your fellas. I'm just tryna do me. Maybe drinks on me. Ballin' like JONES. Never on E like Hess, but I sport more game than NBA refs. Yes. Hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. Hands in the air, hit hands in the air. Hands in the air, hit hands in the air.
The Beat Club.
Wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. Hands in the air, hit hands in the air. Hands in the air, hit hands in the air. Queen E in this bitch.
So that was Els Cole with Wham on Tracks That Bang.
I like her voice, man.
Nah,
she had a nice voice. She sounds sexy, man. She sounds like she look good.
She's multi-talented as well. She's a photographer. I think she's a graphic designer and some other stuff, man. So
she right in our lane then.
Yeah, so that's dope, man. But we also have something else, Marin.
Yeah, man. This is my cheat code. Track That Bang pick. You know, we got the Still Gold project coming out February 17th, man. Torch song. So, you know, I had to bang Arcitype like, yo, man, could we get an exclusive? So, yeah, man.
He gave you the alley?
Yeah, he gave me the alley, man. The name of this record is called Wild Style.
Yes, sir.
And, yeah, man, Still Gold. Shout out to Mo Pope, man. Shout out to Christopher Talking. Shout out to Rain, man. Shout out to everybody, man. All my people, man.
Is there video drops this week for this?
Dope. Let's go.
The 13th Amendment classifies me as 3/5 of a human being. However, my melanated ectoderm makes me the epitome of a human. Sun gazing and sun salutation.
I've been at work with a bad attitude, watching time tick it slow. Been telling my boss to keep quiet and stick to shit that he know. Take smoke breaks with a vape, 8 with a pocket of blow. Picking up dirt, busting my back out though. Champion heart pop blow. The realest, if I stay, it might kill my soul. The things that I do for my kids to make that dough. The clothes, the toys, the sneakers, and despite my goal, I end up the same place with all of my Negroes. And yo, then I head home and get pulled over.
The Beat Club.
A little rap at the window, do better not scratch my pencil. Exchange my papers, it's safe to say I don't like his lingo. Can't be no shit right now, I'm late to get my child. I cushion up, but that just ain't my style. Yo, I've been at work, dying.
What was that called again, bro?
Wild Style.
Yo, that was dope. And that's off the new project?
Yes, sir.
That's February 17th,
February
right?
17th, yep.
February 17th, man. Yo, I want to say to everybody that submitted to Tracks That Bang, keep submitting. You can go to beatclubpodcast.com.
Yeah.
And you can submit your tracks. It's 3 singles or tracks per artist. Do not flood us with mixtapes.
Don't send your whole mixtape, man.
And make sure it's mixed properly, because a lot of you guys didn't really make that cut because it just wasn't mixed properly. But shout out to all the artists that made that cut.
And make sure y'all give us your social media info.
Please, yeah, because we can't show you.
Y'all forgot that. Y'all, artists, y'all don't follow directions.
Reading is fundamental.
And it really helps because we put the extra time and effort into making sure we tag you, especially on the SoundCloud. We make sure we tag the artists.
I'm trying to look for y'all, man. I can't find y'all,
So you got to get on that. But a quick little rundown of everything, man. We did Cut It to Keep It. We did some Chune for Chune.
Yep.
And we interviewed with the dope, the Arcitype, right here, who chopped up a sample live, gave us some gems, and he's going to drop his social network information as well, so people can definitely reach out to him.
Yeah,
see what's good.
It's the Arcitype, which is spelled ARCITYPE, and it's the Arcitype on everything. Just whatever. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just the Arcitype.
Hey, man, and well deserved, man. 2016 Boston Music Awards Producer of the Year, man. Let's clap it up for the Arcitype, man.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That's dope.
Thank you.
And I just want to say it is Beat Club Podcast, everything Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I just also want to say that all the Keep It's that were in January, we actually took them all and made a mix. And it is now available right now on SoundCloud. It's called Writer's Block. All the Keep It's and one long stream that you can listen to all the producers that made the January Keep It list.
Yeah.
So Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Beat Club Podcast.
Yep.
I'm D Loops, aka Do It All Loops.
This is Mark Marin.
And Artificial AV.
And because I can say it on radio, I'm going to say it right now. She.